Now we got the buttons going. I had some stuff switched up so I can stream stuff on Twitter. Got my Strat, shirt on because I can't find my weekend shift shirt. I don't know where I put it. I put it in the laundry and it's gone. What's going on? How you guys doing? Free coaching session, and this was brought to you by the Strat. The weekend shift crew. All right, everybody who came in on everybody who comes in on the weekend shift and just shows their support, and also hits those super chat buttons, and thank you so much. And the person that really brought us over the top was Drez over there at Late Night Liquidity. Go check out their show with Zay and Drez. All right, go check them out. Not seeing anybody in here yet. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday, so I get it. The football game is on. The football game's on. What are you thinking, Strat Soldier? Come on, man. I know the football game's on, but this is prime time to do it. If I don't see anybody in here, I guess I can go ahead and talk about other stuff. But we do this every Saturday, 1 hour before the weekend shift. All right, I'm going to show you how to get to these videos. Sometimes you guys see me repost these videos, and you guys, I know you guys are like, well, I can't see the videos. I don't know what's going on here. I get that. So let me show you how to get to these these videos. All right. And I see some people in here. All right, put your questions in the chat. All right, so it's basically like a coaching session. It's a free Q&A. Put your questions about the Strat in the chat. All right, let me know you're here. I see you guys out there. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys spending your time with me on Sunday. I know the football game is on, but the Packers ain't on right now, so they're gonna suffer. I'm kidding. Oh man, my green screen does not like oh, come on. Stupid camera. Hold on. My camera's mad at me. My camera's mad at me because we do stuff on Saturdays. There I am. Yeah, my camera's mad at me because we do stuff on Saturdays. We don't do stuff on Sunday. What are you doing? All right, let me show you how to get to these coaching sessions. All right, let's see. I'll show you how. All right, so what you're going to do is go to YouTube. You're already at YouTube. Good. So you're going to go to the actual, the Strat Soldier channel. Go down to membership right here, okay? See, this is coaching sessions. Says we're live right now. Be live. Go to membership, all right, and you'll see two tabs. You'll see the Strat Warriors and the Weekend Shift Crew. All right, every day I put out a video going over the daily price action. All right, and then helping you come up with a daily watch list for the next day based on the weekly charts. All right, and I also add to those lists. Okay. So by the end of Saturday, you're like, wait a minute, hold on, we didn't talk about this last Saturday. I keep adding to as the price is going, okay, as the price is moving along. As you can see, lots of videos, okay. So if you just want to come in and you want to learn the Strat, there's the best way to do it. All right, membership section, okay. Videos, there's lots of videos in here. All right, member videos, also posts just for the members. All right, and then go to the Weekend Shift Crew. That'll get you those daily updates, videos from me, daily posts from me, and then you'll see these Weekend Shift updates, and then you'll see the coaching sessions and the macro videos. All right, this coaching sessions every Saturday, 1 hour before the weekend shift, and then I do macro videos as well. All right, macro videos meaning big boy charts. All right, big boy charts. Talking about quarterly, yearly setups, all right? And then there's over 100 plus videos in here, all right? So once you come in to the Weekend Shift Crew or the Strat Warriors, you will get tons of videos, over over 100 videos, all right, 100 plus videos that you can watch. All right, you can't watch these on the other side. All right, you can't see that on the free side. So it's on, you know, it's all there, and you got some custom emotes, and we got some other, you know, we got some loyalty badges, we got, you know, members only live chats, we got a bunch of other stuff that we do. All right, over there. And then also, because you're one of the Strat Warriors, you're helping me out, you know, and I'm helping you out as well. You're supporting me and I'm helping you out become a better trader. If you ever want to request a one-on-one session with me, do it. Do it. Let me know. We'll get on here. We'll figure out how I can help you. All right. So that's how you do it. That's how you get to these coaching sessions. Remember, become a weekend shift, part of the weekend shift crew. You get daily videos of what's going on in the stock market, and then what we're looking for the next day, helping you come up with that daily watch list. There's also lessons in that stuff every day. And then on the weekends for the weekend shift crew, excuse me, the Strat Warriors, you're going to get that 1 hour coaching session before the weekend shift. All right, and then also macro videos going over macro charts. All right, and then if you're part of if you're a Strat Warrior, you get all of it. You get all of it. All right, it's all in there. All right, so that's how you do that. I see people in the chat. Thank you. I see people in here. I got 11 people in here. Thank you so much. Put your questions in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. What questions do you have about the Strat? All right, come on now. Come on now. And until we get some questions in the chat, I'm just going to go over some general information, okay? I use TrendSpider, all right? I use TrendSpider, and what we do with the Strat is we want to look at 4 time frames at the same time: the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 60, okay? You have to look at 4 time frames at the same time. If you are on TradingView, I suggest you still set it up like this. I was on TradingView for a long time, and I had, you know, the same similar setup as Rob did. All right, this is how Rob used to do it. You'll see JJ, he does it the same way. His charts may look a little bit different than mine in the way he stacks them, but I do it like this. So the monthly, I'm always looking at the month. Who is in control, the buyers or the sellers? Let's go to SPY. S&P 500, there's 500 stocks in SPY, okay? 500, all right? Let's go to broader averages, go to SPY. All right, there's 500 stocks in here. I'll get to this in a second. I want to look at the month. Who is in control, the buyers or the sellers? Right now, it's inside bar, but it's red, okay? That lets me know sellers are trying to take this over. If it was 2 down, scenario 2 down, I would say definitely the sellers are in control. If it was 2 up in green, buyers are definitely in control, okay? On the weekly chart, I'm looking for, again, who is in control, the buyers or the sellers. For last week, it was definitely, let me clear this off so I'm talking to you guys. So this was a signal for last week, the shooter, all right here. Here was the actionable signal last week, the shooter. And then this week, it went in force below 679.24. And it hit the magnitude of 663.10. All right, AW, thank you so much for putting the question in there. Thank you. So for time frame continuity wise, I'm looking on the weekly chart to reconfirm what I'm seeing on the month. Okay, that's a big point. That's a big deal, all right? I'm looking on the weekly chart to reconfirm what I'm seeing on the month. Then I'm looking on the daily chart to reconfirm what I'm seeing on the week and the month, and then also the 60-minute to reconfirm what I'm seeing on the day, the week, and the month. If it's all green, that's full time frame continuity to the upside. If it's all red, that's full time frame continuity to the downside. Time frame continuity is always there, all right? It's always there. It's like the weather, all right? It can't just like disappear. You always have time frame continuity. Now, there's what you're seeing right now is red on the month, red on the week, green on the day, green on the 60-minute. This is conflict. This is conflict, okay? Conflict. There's 4 C's to time frame continuity, and I covered that in the time frame continuity course over at thestratsoldier.com. AW, thank you so much for the question. Thank you. I love it. My question is, do you think SPY will drop another $20? He's like, AW said, yeah, I get it. Yeah, time frame continuity. Hey, man, about these trades, about this money. I'm trying to get this money. Isn't that a point? Isn't that a pivot machine gun on the monthly for SPY? It could be, yes. For other people that don't know the strat, pivot machine gun is when there's a bunch of targets all lined up. We know that traditional technical analysis, these traders are taught to put their stops at obvious pivot points, okay? So, yes, this could be, if the market just drops, if the market says, hey, I'm about sick of, if I don't know, let's just say there's some news and they're trying to put tariffs on the tariffs and this thing just bottoms out. First thing we're going to look for is, does it go 2-2 reversal down on the month? And if that happens, it'll happen below 652.84. Then our target's 635. Then the next target's 619. Then the next target's 615. All right. Now, for that to really, all right, now let's talk a little bit of reality here. All right. For that really to drop, we're going to need, it's going to look like this. All right. It's going to look like this. It could happen. All right. It could happen. But god dang, golly, if that happens, man, we're going to be in trouble. All right. We're going to be in trouble if it does something like this. All right. But we know what to do. All right. We know what to do. The good thing is we'll know it's happening. The bad thing is it'd be happening. All right. Because this would be affecting everything. But earlier this year, it's happened before. Earlier this year, you did have a pivot machine gun right here. This bar, 2-2 reversal back down, actually a 3-2-2 back down, took out all these months. And then this bar took out all these, took them all out. All right. So could it happen? Yes. AW, yes, it could. Do you think it'll drop another $20? What we do here in the strat is we look for places, again, obvious places where people put their stops. And we have no actionable signal for next week. If this was a shooter, if this was another Momo shooter, I would say yes. If this was like another, a solid red bar, I would say, yeah, we're looking for like 652.46, something like that. All right. But what do we have over here? We have a hammer for Monday. All right. If the hammer goes in force on Monday, it's definitely going to open up the month or next week, inside week, about right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a line on that chart. Let's put a line on that chart and put it in the right spot. All right. 670. Oh, we almost got it right there. 671, 671.52, I think it was. Oops, come on now. 671.52. All right. So it's going to put us about, if we open it, if this hammer goes in force, it's going to put us about right there. All right. For Monday. We have to acknowledge that. And that's where time frame continuity comes in at. Okay. Who's more aggressive, the buyers or the sellers? All right. If this hammer goes in force on Monday, it'll definitely stop the selling on the week. All right. So we're going to be watching that. We're going to be watching that. So will it go down another $20? We're not really seeing that right now. All right. All right. It could open up right here and continue to the lows. All right. The next target to the lows is 653. All right. So if it starts doing that, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. And hopefully your trades come out good. Oh, now we got people coming in here. Now we got people coming in here. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, Corey, the Black Stratter. What's up, man? I saw an old video of Rob's mentioning day trading gappers on the 60 minutes. Yep. what's that criteria? What is the criteria for creating the watch list or scam? All right, so trading the gap list, and you'll see JJ. Go follow JJ. He does the monthly recap with me on the podcast In Force, and he puts out a gap list every day. All right. So the only thing, there is no criteria for the gap list, meaning what Rob used to do is just scan for things that are 3% up or down in the pre-market. All right. So let's just say something, you're seeing things that are gapping up way up here. Let's make it green to make sense on what I'm trying to show. All right. So you got something that's gapping up way up here. We want to see, that's significant for us because we want to know, okay, we see that there's buyers there. All right, we see that there's buyers there. All right, let's just make it go ahead and gap up on the 60. Let's see here. What do I got? What 676? Let's make it accurate here. 676. 676. All right. All right, so about right there. Yep, that was pretty close. Pretty close. So, so we're in a situation where it's gapping up on the daily and the 60s, of course. And the question that we're asking ourselves is, okay, the reason why this is important is because we know there's buyers there. All right, we already know there's buyers there. So when the market opens, we want to see if they keep buying. All right, if they don't keep buying, we want to see if they start selling. Is it going to start going to the lows immediately? Because not everybody trades the Strat. In the Strat, we add to our winning positions. Other institutions, people trade other ICT, they trade, the SMAs, they trade all kind of different things, all right? And they're like, awesome, we got the market to gap up, I made my money, I'm gonna take my profits. Then it starts selling off. So we wanna see that, Now what Rob would have us do, and what we do in the Strat is we look to see if the buying, number one, if the buying continues. We want to see if that buying continues. And if it does, let's just say it does this. All right, it goes up, and the next bar, we go inside the next bar. All right, that's what we want. We want something like this. All right. Why? Because if the next bar, because we want this thing to consolidate, give us a chance to get in, all right? And then if it goes 212 up, if it goes 212 up on the 60s, bam, punch it in the face. That means they're still buying. They're still buying, all right? How far can it go? That's what we want to know. All right? Then the opposite side of that on how we can trade these 30s and 60s is if it gaps up, all right? We are looking for the reversal back down. That's mainly how we trade these gap ups, these gaps, all right? Gaps do not negate the Strat. What we want to see is if it gaps up, if they don't keep buying, does it reverse down, all right? That's where you'll see something like this, 212 down. Everybody's crying, boo, like, oh, why is it going down? It beat earnings. Because they made their money, all right? The buyers made their money, they got what they wanted. All right, that's how you can trade these. Same thing on the other side. Let's say we have a gap down. I know this is a little bit longer answer here, but let's just say we got a gap down on this price way down here. All right, we want to see, does it keep selling off, or did the sellers get what they wanted? All right, bad news came out, whatever. Does it keep selling off? All right, no, it starts consolidating. All right, we want to trade this reversal back up, 212 back up. That's what we want to do. So when it gaps up, we're looking for the reversal back down. When it gaps down, we're looking for the reversal back up. All right, and then also we are also looking for continuations. Okay, I was going to put that all back up on the chart again, but we are looking for continuations. All right. All right. I think that answered that question. Also, Corey says, also one thing I realized about the Strat is that trend following doesn't appear to be strength or focus. Seems most stratters trade combos to get out of magnitude, to get out once magnitude reached instead of holding. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm doing this. Well, I offer to do these free trading sessions, coaching sessions, these free coaching sessions, because people are learning this. People are not teaching the strat correctly. Okay, that's a truth. They are not teaching the strat correctly. You need three things to trade the strat. Three universal truths. You need actionable signals, time frame continuity, broadening formations. All right. If the person that you are working with is not talking about all three things, they are not teaching you the strat correctly. Now, there are some stratters or some traders that use elements of the strat, in their trading. That's fine. All right. As long as they're upfront about that and they say, hey, this is how I trade the strat, but also I use ICT for these little things. Go watch the interview with K Trades. All right. She's a stratter, but she'll say straight up, hey, I also use this other stuff as well. That's okay. All right. But for a person that says they're a stratter, you have to use all three things or you're going to get chopped up. That's it. All right. Usually when I see people with a bunch of indicators, or I see, there's a bunch of stuff, either they're not using time frame continuity or broadening formations, all right, and they're using all these other things to supplement that, all right. They're only using the strat combos or the strat reversals, and like I said, as long as they're upfront about that, that's fine. But learning the strat on the street is dangerous, all right. The strat is all about trading the trend. And we want to add to our winning positions, all right? We want to add. And we do not hold losing positions, and we do not add to losing positions. In the strat, we create winning positions, add to them, and defend them with tight stops. That's what we do, all right? But it's also their prerogative, all right? If they don't want to, if they're pushing their stops up, and they get stopped out with profit, that's fine. Some people don't trust that it's going to go to magnitude. You know what I mean? That's an individual problem, or a situation, not necessarily the strat. What does enforce mean? Manly has been waiting on this one because I've been answering these questions long. These are long questions. He's like, come on, man, dang. I'm trying to get this answer in between plays of this football game. You answering these questions slow. Thank you for being here. Anybody that's new to the strat, put a 1 in the chat. Please put a 1 in the chat. This is for you. This free coaching session is for you. All right. So what does enforce mean? Enforce means we have an actionable signal on the screen. I'm trying to talk slow. Here's a hammer, okay? We want to see if the next live bar trades above that hammer, all right? If the next live bar trades above that hammer, once it trades above 671.07, it is in punch it right in the face. All right, punch it right in the face. We ain't looking for no confirmation bars. I just put out a tweet because I'm doing some studying on some technical analysis stuff just to increase my own knowledge of traditional trading. And traditional trading says, well, you can't really do anything with this until it closes. You can't really use them for price targets. No. In the strat, we definitely look at opening price, and we definitely get in once it trades above our actionable signals. All right. We do not wait for this thing to close. Once this time frame closes, for example, this is a daily chart. Once this daily candle closes, it's done. This actionable signal is done. Okay. Anyway, so that's what enforce means. All right. That means the price is trading above your actionable signal. Same thing for the lows. Let me look for a shooter. Hold on. Here we go. Just same thing for the lows. All right. Here's a shooter right here. This is going to be this could be a little confusing for you to understand. Let's do this. All right. Well, we're going to do a little bit of imaginating here. Use your imagination here. All right. Here's a nice little shooter right here. Once the price starts trading below that shooter, 668.35, it is in force. Okay, that means this actionable signal is in force for as long as this time frame is open. Once it closes, this actionable signal is done. It's gone. Okay, gone. Donezo. Move on. That brings me to another point. A lot of people will say, well, it didn't work. What do you mean it didn't work? Well, you know, here's an actionable signal. It went in force, but it just, like, this one just keeps going. All right, they would say this is working. All right. What I need you to understand that this bar and this bar, that's the reversal. Okay. This bar, we got to add in this bar to you know, 2-2 reversal back up, you know. But all these other bars are continuation bars. These are just bonus. Okay, if it continues to go in that direction, awesome. You caught that trend early, and you are in that trend and it's continuing to go up. Awesome. But I need you guys to understand that on this daily chart, once this goes in force, this is only good for one day. Only good for one day. Once that day closes and the next day continues, you have you have that choice, just like Corey was talking about. Some people don't want to hold all the way to the, they don't want to hold the magnitude, all right? They're too scared. Maybe they're trading options and they ain't got time for all that, all right? Remember that too, Corey. Remember maybe people are doing different things. They ain't got no time for all that. I trade shares. I got all the time in the world. So they don't want to hold through all this. They don't want to, So anyway, this bar, this is the reversal. Let's turn these strat labels on for the kids in the back. Here's the reversal, 2-2 reversal back up, 2 down, 2 up. All these other bars, bonus. Manny's laughing. Ben Cruz is in the house. What's up? Ben Cruz is in the house. In force. AW says, in force, man. It's all good. It's all good. We trading this stuff, not spelling it. I get it. Corey said, could be wrong, but just an observation I realized in the community. Yeah. It's I was doing a Strat Camp webinar a couple weeks ago, and I found out people were, there's other stratters teaching people to put their stops way low, really low. All right, really low. They're telling people to put their stops way down here. No. All right? Absolutely not. This is not where you put your stop. This is way too much risk. Way too much risk. All right? You want your stop at least right here at a minimum. At a minimum. Dang near at the maximum. I got those words backwards. At the maximum, you want it right there. All right, you don't want this way down here. That's crazy. Anybody telling you to put your stops way down there, go find somebody else. Actually, come over to thestratsoldier.com. I'll teach you I'll show you the strat for real. All right. Once you learn the strat, once you have it, you got the basics down. You'll know how to create winning positions, add to them, and defend them with tight stops. Then you can go do all that wacky, crazy stuff. And then when it gets weird, come back to the basics. All right. I'm not against learning other things, but once it gets weird, come back to the basics. Look at this, too low, way too low, bad. Let's make it big. Way too low. All right. People teaching the strat wrong. Let's see here. Corey, great explanation. I appreciate it. Gaps look like something could build consistently around. Yes. Rob used to have people, the new stratters, trading gaps right out the brand new stratter, trading gaps. All right. 30s and 60s. All right. 30s and 60s. Again, gaps are important because we already know that there's buyers or sellers there even before the bell rings. Now, once the bell rings, we're waiting 15 minutes to a half an hour. And if you're really conservative, you can wait for a whole hour till the first flip of the day, which is at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then you can, then you're deciding, okay, are we trading it to the upside? We trading it to the downside. What we doing? Facts. AW says facts. I only like following folks who are 100% strat. Heck yeah. That's me, boy. I'm straight strat. Boy, straight strat. I only, okay. I also don't take signals because I don't always understand why they took the trade. That makes sense. Manly out here having a good time. That's why I'm glad you're here, man. Good luck. Thanks. Good luck. Thanks. All right. All right. So did I answer your question, Manly? Maybe not. Good luck. Thanks. Okay. Enforce, not enforce, just means signal is in effect or valid. Yep. It's subject to go outside day if the stop is at the low. Yeah. Manly, did I answer your question? All right, we're used to laughing out here, but I want to make sure that even though we're joking around, I want to make sure that we're not excluding anybody. All right. Let me know, Manly, if I answer your question. And then yeah, AW, it's fine. It's all good. Again, we're trading the strat, not spilling it. It's all good. So yeah, you want something like this. All right, you want something like this. All right, good. I'm glad you're still here. I was hoping that, because we do a lot of chit chat, you know what I mean. I want to make sure I didn't get misunderstood. That's all. I don't want to exclude, especially people coming here to ask questions. That's another thing about thestratsoldier.com. All right, I got a community. I made a community right there on thestratsoldier.com. Ask your questions. All right, send me charts. You buy an ebook, you buy a course, you buy a Strat Soldier coffee mug, all right? It doesn't matter. You get my undivided attention, all right? And send me as many questions you have, all right? Email me your charts, do all that stuff. Let me know what you're thinking, all right? Show me what's working for you, what's not. I will help you out, all right? I'm here for you guys. Would you rather your new mentees focus on the ticker or the actionable signal starting out? Good question. I say focus on the actionable signal. And then the new people trading, the people brand new to the trading period, I want you to focus on trading shares. All right. If you have only been trading less than a year, focus on trading shares. Once you get past that first year, then you can start looking at options and futures and commodities and all that other stuff, okay? But please, you will get so much further trading if you just learn how to trade the shares of the stock. You will know what it, you'll know. And then, for example, Celsius. Let's go look at Celsius, okay? Celsius, huge gap down. All right, I talked about this yesterday. Huge gap down. I was trying to get back in on this. I was trying to get back in right here at $62.63. Of course, shares. But if you're a brand new trader, okay, if you're a brand new trader and you see the earnings come out, it does this. It gaps down $10. All right, when all your friends told you buy all the calls you can because Celsius has been doing great. All right. And it does this, that hurts your heart. That hurts your heart. All right, you losing money, but that also you ain't feeling great. It does not feel great. I've been on that side. And then the other side is that Celsius, Palantir. We can go look at Palantir, but even on good earnings, even on good guidance, the price can still gap down because they got what they wanted. All right, sellers got what they wanted. PLTR, pretty sure they went down on their earnings. Yeah, right here. All right, gap down on their earnings. Why is it going down? It gapped up. Why is it gapping down? They beat their earnings. They got good guidance. It could still happen, all right? So for the first year trader, again, this is not a huge hit. If you were making money with shares and then it gaps down like that, it continues down, you're just cutting your position and, hopefully you're cutting it in a profit before it gets too far down in here. But you can deal with it, all right? You can deal with it a lot easier than someone that has calls on these, and then the premiums kaput, you know, and it's gapped down, you're in a losing position, and it's getting worse. Okay, well, maybe the next day it'll be better. It closed as a hammer. Maybe, you know, then it does this. All right, your losing positions will get worse. All right, so I suggest stick to your actionable signals. Stick to trading shares in your first year. If you're a first year stratter and you've been trading for a while, first year stratter, yeah, stick to the rules. Look for time frame continuity. Look for your actionable signals, and then look at where you're at in the broadening formation, okay? All right, look for where you're at in the broadening formation. This is an automatically drawn broadening formation on Palantir right now. I would actually draw it like this. That's what I would do. But this is, we can turn this off. Let's do this. We can turn these drawing. Broadening formation, turn that off. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. All right. So something like this. All right. And the reason why you want to look at these broadening formations is because you want to see this starts reversing to the lows. It's at the top of the broadening formation, okay? We trade reversals within this broadening formation. All right. This is not a surprise it's doing this. All right, to the lows. How far can it go? You know, we're looking at that as well. All right. What I'm not doing is getting on here and saying, oh, Palantir, it's about to do this. You'll see in technical analysis, you'll see they do this. Here it is. It's about to go all the way down and back down to zero. We don't do that. All right. We don't do that in the strat. We pick actual targets, and we're, you know, if the price goes there, that's what we're looking for. Okay. Okay, yeah. Good. Give me another question. Give me another question. Thank you so much for being here. We got 31 people in here. 31 people. Put your question in the chat. Come on now. Free coaching session. Put your question in the chat. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I'm not gonna. Okay. We might laugh a little bit, but I'm not laughing at you. Does that make sense? Okay. Come on now, put your question in the chat. Put your question in the chat. So we're looking for time frame, we're looking for actionable signals to reconfirm what we're seeing on the month, the week, the daily, and the 60, okay? And we're looking for where we're at in the broadening formation, the top, the middle, or the lows. There's nothing wrong with using labels, okay? What I highly suggest is do not use a script that colors every 2 up bar green and every 2 down bar red, all right? Because in that special script, there's always a script. This has various names, but this 2 down will be red, and you know, you do see a hammer, but you need to know that's green, all right? You need to know that there was some buying on the 60s, all right? You need to know that. Nothing wrong with using the labels. On TrendSpider, if you don't have TrendSpider, they're doing a huge discount. You can try this TrendSpider for $1, and then when you sign up, let me know. I'll give you all my Strat scanners, and get you trading the Strat. All right. They're over here on. They do have a smart trade checklist right here. All right. And this is also based on time frame continuity. I see it on TradingView. There's a lot of people using like a little indicator right here. All right. They do have that same thing here on TrendSpider. Again, I suggest you look at all 4 time frames. If you do not have, let's just say your trading platform only lets you look at 2, you need to have the daily and the 60. All right. And then pre-market, you need to be looking at the month and the week so you know what's going on. And then once the bell rings, you're looking at the daily and the 60. Okay. Something that I also see a lot of people looking at 4-hour bars. Let me get rid of these labels just for right now. I see a lot of people looking at 4-hour bars for day trading. So here's the suggested way of setting up your charts. All right. Here's a suggested way for doing that. All right, you got your week. So that way you know what's going on for the week. You got your daily. That way you can see what's happening today. Is it reconfirming what's happening on the week? Okay. And then you have your 4-hour bar. All right, you only get 2 of these a day. All right, you only get 2 4 hours a day, 2 bars a day. This one actually worked really well because you got a hammer on the, you got a hammer right here that went in force on the 4-hour. Gives you a reason to get in. But again, you only get 2 of these a day. You need to know what's happening on these 60-minute bars. This is what's happening right now. Okay? This is what's happening right now. And then 4-hour bars really doesn't make sense because the trading day is 6.5 hours. It's 6.5 hours. Why are we looking at the 4-hour? I suggest you look at the 2-hour. That way, you know what's going on. And you don't have to look at every 60-minute bar. But again, for people that trade options, they want to look at those 4-hour bars. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But again, I suggest you do something like this where you got the weekly, you're looking at the daily, you're looking at your 4 hours, and then you're looking at your 60-minute, all right? That way you can see what's happening right now. Thank you so much for being here. 32 people in here, and give me some questions. Get in the chat. Give me some questions. Come on now. Maybe it's a ticker you want to look at. Maybe it's an actionable signal. Hey, what's a rev strat? Come on now. Give me some questions. Did we trade the news with the strat? Give me any questions you got. Thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. This is fun. But I'm not going to be on here for too much longer, all right? Put your questions in the chat. That Manly, put another question in there. Come on, Manly. Manly got some questions. I know you do. So that's a good suggested way of doing it, setting up for, especially for day trading, okay? Day trading. Another question I get a lot about time frame continuity is, do I have to look at the yearly and the quarterly for time frame continuity? No. All right, no. You only really need the month. You need to know what's happening for the month. All right. Now, if you're talking about macro charts and you're talking about holding something for a quarter, 3 months. If you're talking about something that triggered 2-2 reversal up on the year at the beginning of the year, let's go look at VeriSign. All right, VeriSign. I got in on VeriSign. 2-2 reversal. There we go. We got some questions. Chat's rolling. 2-2 reversal back up on the year. I got in right here at 209.77. It was awesome. All right. All I had to do was just manage the trade. There's only 2 months. There's like a month and a half left in the trading year. Okay. So when you're looking at something that triggers 2-2 reversal up on the year, let's go look at Roku, because I was talking about Roku. Roku's trying to get their act together. Thank you so much for the questions. And I'm like, all right, 2-2 reversal back up on the year. Now, me personally, realistically, I don't expect this thing to get all the way back up to 237 in a month and a half. Maybe that would be amazing, but I created a small position. It did take out that first target, 107.76. All right, came back down a little bit, but I'm looking for I'm starting a small position because I want to see what this thing does next year, okay? If next year opens up inside and does real crappy, I'll cut it, all right? I'll cut it. But what I'm not doing is going, okay, 2-2 reversal up on the year, it's about to blast, I always have to, you always have to think about time. How much time do I have left on this trade? All right, for Roku, I got a month and a half left, all right, on that. Hopefully it keeps going. Inside bar for next week. Do I have this on the weekly watch? Yes, I do. Yes, I do on the weekend shift weekly watch list. All right, here we go. Greetings from Nigeria. How you doing? How you doing? Greetings. How you doing? Thank you so much for being in here. Also, if you watch the weekend shift on YouTube, there's like a couple dots in the corner of the screen, and you can actually change over here. You can actually change the language on my videos to any language you want. All right. So far, I listen to myself in Cantonese. I've listened to myself in Mandarin, and of course Spanish and things like that. So if you speak a different language, you're like, man, he talks real fast. He speaks English real fast, or something. You can switch those videos to a different language. Thank you so much. We are international. Thank you. Corey says, how do you trade the strat with the news? I do see most say trade signals after earnings, not before. Yes. So Starbucks has they're starting to come back up. Starbucks might be reversing back up. How do you trade the strat with the news? You're going to go to, I'm trying to think of one that had a lot of news. Who had some news on them? I'm thinking. Boeing, all right? So let's just say you hear something about Boeing. Here's some news on Boeing, okay? You see some headlines, all right? What you're gonna do is, you can read whatever headlines you want, all right? And then you're gonna go to the charts, and you're still gonna look for those actionable signals, okay? Is it really happening in price yet? That's what we wanna know. Is it really happening in the price yet? All right. INTC, there's another one with a lot of news. INTC, Elon Musk, right here. NVIDIA CEO Jensen pushes back on Elon's plan to build up chip fab, says what TSMC does is extremely hard. Basically, there was some news saying Elon Musk was going to do something with INTC, all right, Intel. Are we seeing it in the charts yet? No. Okay, this came out yesterday. So we'll see on Monday. We're going to see on Monday. We're still looking for actionable signals. All this news tells you is say, hey, something might be happening in Intel. We're still going to go to the charts. We're looking for actionable signals. Where is it at in the broadening formation? Have they been buying? Have they been selling? Who's in control of this? And then we'll work it from there, okay? But yeah, earnings. For earnings example, you can trade, a lot of people are taught to get in early, so you can trade a stock all the way up until the earnings report and then cut it, take your profits as people have been buying into it, but then cut it before the day of the earnings. You'll save yourself so much heartache, all right? Sometimes you'll get those ones that jump up. You're like, gap up, I knew it, yeah. All right, it's fun. But then you'll get those ones like I just sold you Palantir. They beat earnings, but it was a huge gap down. Boo! Everybody's sad. All right. And so wait for the news to come out, then work it. Okay. Let's see here. We got what's up, Bart? Thank you so much for being here. Trading weeklies. When would you stop getting in a trade throughout the week, or would you just pick the following week? The videos, thanks for doing them. Awesome. Thank you so much for being. Thank you for the feedback. So let's go to our weekly watch list. Last week, here's our weekly watch list for this week. Okay. Your question is, when would you stop getting in a trade throughout the week? Okay, so AVGO is something that's been moving around. AVGO, I'm trying to think about what was on the list last week. AVGO has been moving around, okay? And we did have an actionable signal go in force. All right, red on the month. We're looking for, we expect the price to go to the lows because of this actionable signal right here on the week. And then it does go in force to the lows, all right? We're making money, all right? The first question I'm going to ask is, how much time do I have on this trade? All right, I'm using my pink line, my learning line. Learning line. All right. This is going to show us across the time frames. All right. So it's red on the month. This actually goes in force on the week. This is last week. And here's your days. All right. And then here's your 60-minute bars. Okay. All right, see how that all lines up. See how I'm lining that all up. Okay, so we're looking in this small window of time. When if it's working, awesome. All right, I'm looking for ways to add to my winning position as well. Okay, when do I want to stop adding to or getting in on a signal on the week? If it's Friday and you only got 3 hours left and this triggers, you need to know you only got 3 hours left on this trade. We're always asking ourselves, how much time do I have on this? All right. If you only got 3 hours left on Friday and it finally triggered, you know, you can take it, but at the same time, you can be like, nah, forget it. You know, it took too long. If it, like this one triggered on 350, let's see here, 345, let's do this. Copy. For some reason, it's not letting me put my lines on this here. When did this actually trigger? Paste. Okay, so this actually triggered on Friday, right here on Thursday. All right, so it triggered Thursday, inside bar, Friday. So it triggered about right here, all right, on that Friday, that same Friday, to the lows, all right. Now Monday, let's say you're in, okay, you took the puts, you're in, it's good. But now you have a hammer on that day for Monday. If that hammer goes on in force on Monday, get out. All right, that's your actionable signal to tell you get out of this. All right, get out. Anytime during the week, even though you have something in force on the week, anytime during the week, if your the trend on the day or the 60s are starting to negate what's happening on the week, if the sellers are in control on the week, but the daily and the 60s are showing that they want to start buying this thing, do not let it go too far away from you. I mean, don't let yourself hold a losing position for too long. You need to find ways to get out, okay? So better answer your question. Netflix. Okay, we'll look at Netflix. If I'm trading weeklies, when would you stop getting in a trade throughout the week? If it starts reversing back the opposite direction, I'm not taking that. All right. If I already did take it, I want to get out. Okay, I want to get out. All right, let's go to Netflix. We'll go to Netflix. Netflix. Oops. Netflix. All right. This is not a good example from last week, but maybe you're looking for this tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, so maybe you're looking for something like this for next week. Okay. All right. We want to make sure that the daily and the 60s are reconfirming what we're seeing on the week, all right? That they want to buy this, all right? That's what we want to see. There is some news on this. They want to do a 10-for-1 split. I think it was 10-for-1 split on Netflix, okay? So you get 10 shares for every one that you own right now. And that's definitely going to affect this stock price, all right? Yep, 10-to-1 split. Yep, that's right, Bart. You're on it. You on it. And it might be a good thing. They might say, okay, 10-for-1 split, and everything goes back to the highs because the regular person can buy these stocks again, and it starts going back up, and it's awesome, and everybody's having a good time. But you're going to be monitoring the daily and the 60s, okay? Daily and the 60s. You want to be in a winning position. Now, based on time frame continuity, right now on Sunday, this is already 2 down on the month in red, all right? So even though we have an actionable signal on the week, we'll put that on the watch list. We'll watch it. We'll watch it this week, okay? It has to work, all right? If it does not go in force, going back to Manly's question was in force, okay? If the next week opens like this inside, way in here, not touching it. Nope. Manly, we ain't getting in early. Nope. Don't get in early. All right. And at the same time, don't get out early. But anyway, we ain't getting in early. Once the price trades above that actionable signal, then we get in. Now we're in, okay? And then hopefully it keeps on going. All right. Bam. We're making money. Hopefully. That's a big old bar right there. So hopefully it happens. All right. It might take a few days, all right, to get to that, to get to that magnitude. It could take some time. All right. But we also know it could do this. Boo, back to the downside some more. Okay, just based on time frame continuity, we could be looking for this too. Boo. And if that happens, It's okay. Why? Because it did not go above your hammer. You did not get in early. This is protecting you, okay? Did it go above your actionable signal? No. Get out. I mean, did it go above your actionable signal? No. I'm not getting in. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. I got excited. I'm not getting in. If it does this, I'm going to have my stop in a place where I can get out, okay? All right? I'm going to have my stop in a place where I can get out. I'm not holding all the way down here. No. Well, I'm going to give my trade some wiggle room. All you're doing is asking for a larger loss. You're saying to the markets, please make me lose more money. If my trade goes against me, I want to get out now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to see if, well, maybe it's manipulation. No. I don't care. Get me out of give me my money. Take it out of this. All right. That would be a failed 2 down, correct? Yeah. Yep. Actually, that would be a scenario 3 if it does this. A failed 2 down would be this. It goes 2 up and it starts coming back down. All right. I actually put a scenario 3 on the on the board, on the chart. Takes out the highs, takes out the lows. You're getting wrecked. Okay. Yep. Bean Cruz says, "Give me LVUS. Give me Southwest Airlines." She said, "Give me Southwest Airlines." Put it on the screen. All right, LVS Las Vegas. No, LVS Las Vegas Sands Court. What was I thinking? I was thinking Southwest Airlines. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, that's already on the list for the weekend shift. Where you at? We've been looking at this. We're looking at this on the quarterly chart, I think. Anyway, me and JJ were talking about this. No actionable signal right now, but it's moving, okay? It's moving. Let's go look at the quarterly charts. Quarterly charts, it's moving. Let's go look at the year. Where's our actionable signals? It's scenario 3 on the year. All right, they're getting their act together. Let's see if we can get back up to $74, maybe 81. Maybe 106, maybe 148. But these are what I'm doing with that is putting, these are actual prices, okay? I'm not saying Las Vegas Sands going to 5,000. I'm not doing that. But right now, no actionable signal in Las Vegas Sands. If you're in this, good. If you're in this, good. Hopefully you got in here around $50.44. But they are definitely buying this, and it is 3-2 up on the month right now. 3-2 up on the month. Hammer in force. Let's go ahead and put that on the monthly signals list. If you are not in this already, that's okay, because if this is, I already showed you these other price targets. All right, if this is a real move and it's going to keep going, you'll get a chance to get in. Okay, you will. Las Vegas Sands has positioned November candle higher than October monthly candle. That's right. So if you're not in this already, it is hammer and force on the month. If you're not in this already, you're waiting for maybe an inside week, or maybe an inside day, 2-1-2 up on the day, something like that to get you in, even a 2 down, 2 up on the day. And if you really want to get in and you're like, I gotta get in this, I gotta do it, you can look for a reversal on the 60-minute to get you in on what's happening here, okay? All right. Your last candle on Friday kind of messed this up, but anytime the 60s were the same color as the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, it was full time frame continuity to the upside, okay? Okay. Corey says, what is Strat Soldier's favorite actionable signal and time frame? Also, what's your best ticker you traded? Good question. Hammer in force. I will take that all day, every day. No problem. All right. That's what Cat Williams says. All day, every day, no problem. I like these hammers. All right. I know where to get in. I know my entry. I know where I'm going to put my stop. Hammer in force is my favorite actionable signal. Rob used to say his favorite actionable signal is the one that's in force, but definitely love those hammers. That lets me know this price is you know, the buyers could take this over in the very next live candle, okay? Now, I definitely want to see that on the weekly chart because I trade weeklies, okay? Do we got any handlers here? Oxy, all right? Oxy. Now, it is 2 down on the month, but it's green, all right? Oxy might be getting their act together. I don't know. We're going to see, all right? But if it goes above $41.30, I know where I want to get in at, okay? All right? And in the strat, we get in with a small position, all right? We're not buying 50 contracts. We're not buying 500 shares either, okay? We're going to small and then add into that, scale into that position, all right? And then add to our winners. That's what we do in the strat, all right? So hammer and force, and then so far this year, VRSN. VRSN has been the one for this year, all right? I already showed you 2-2 reversal back up on the year. I got on here 210, 210.20, all right? And I got stopped out here, all right? This ugly scenario 3 on the week around 281. Good trade, real good trade, all right? It was awesome. It was fun, all right? It was fun. And I didn't have to, you know, in being a yearly trade, I was using the months and the weeks to monitor that, all right? And I didn't have to, you know, every little tick. I'm not like every little bar. I'm like, what's it doing what's it doing today? Or what's it doing what's it doing? What did I miss? Nah, man. Create winning position, add to it, defend it with tight stops, all right? So VRSN this year been my winner. Tesla has been really good as well. But trading shares with Tesla, not options. Not options. XLE, Ben says, give me XLE. XLE, looking like it wants to go to the upside. All right, definitely. The problem is the broadening formation. All right, where are we at in the broadening formation? Where are we at in the broadening formation? All right, on the monthly, all this is stuck in this scenario 3 back here. All right, we did get above it a few times, but it keeps falling back into this scenario 3 back here. So it's all stuck back here and here, all right? You can see that. If it's hard to identify the trend, you can always change your charts to line charts, all right? Is it really going to the upside? Is it really going to the downside? You know, it's just kind of choppy. Choppy. You know, so that's the only thing wrong with XLE, all right? And it's really going against seasonality. It's been going against seasonality for the last couple years. I got a bunch of crap on the chart. Hold on. Got a bunch of junk on the chart. Here is the overall. Is this the automatic? Yep. I would really put this line up here. All right. But again, this is an automatic broadening formation drawn by TrendSpider. All right. So here's our bigger broadening formation. All right, and this is a sub-try. All right, it's a broadening formation within the broadening formation. And this is where we're stuck. You can see all of this stuck in here, okay? Stuck. All of this is stuck. So will it continue to the highs? Will it get above 90? Let's see here, $93, and the next bar 94. Will it do that? That's what we're looking for, okay? But right now, really stuck in the middle. JJ says, stuck in the middle with you, all right? Let's see, that's a beautiful yearly trade. Yep. Yeah, Roku. Hopefully it gets there one day. Corey says, instead of scanning or looking for actionable signals, wouldn't you just focus on tickers that are 2 up on the year? Wouldn't that make it easier to focus on buying, just trying to see if I'm on the right, thinking along on the right path. Plus, I also don't like scanning or searching for tickers each week. Perfect, man. That's perfect. So that's where you come in with the macro charts, okay? Again, I do that. I do a new macro chart video every month, okay? And I could do it more if you guys want to, as long as I'm, you know what I mean, as long as you guys are looking at them. We're looking at yearly, you know, we're looking at what we do is on the Mac. We'll do this here. Okay. Monthly, quarterly. monthly, quarterly, yearly, quarterly, monthly, and then weekly, okay? You can do something like this. Now this is, again, like I said earlier, this is a different conversation at the beginning of the year than it is right now. We're almost done with the year. So ABT, 2 up on the year. That's why it's up, that's why it's on the list, 2 up on the year, but what's it doing on the quarter? Inside on the quarter, all right? Not doing so much on the month. Here's your weeks, okay? So this is what I do on the macro list, okay? 2-2 reversal back up on the quarter and ACAM, all right? This is what's doing on the month. This is what it's doing on the week. See how we do that? So yes, on the macro list, you can scan and look for things that are only 2 up on the year, okay? All right, only 2 up on the year. Boeing right now, Boeing, shooter in force on the quarter. All right, look at that. All right, reconfirm on the month and the weeks, okay? Anyway, Chewy, I put Chewy on the list because it was 2 up on the year above $38.78. Now not doing so hot, okay? So you want to, because they have earnings, you got to look at the earnings. There's all kind of different factors. Costco, 2 up on the year technically, but what's it doing on the quarter? Okay, what's it doing on these months and weeks? So yes, you can just look for things that are 2 up on the year. Cisco, amazing, 3-2 up on the year, 2 up on the quarter, still going, still good. Taking some profits here on the month and the week. So I'm not gonna, if I'm not in this, I'm not really getting in yet. But yes, you can do that. Okay. All right. It's easier to start that. Looking at things like that at the beginning of the year. Okay. And yes, you are thinking along the right path. Again, that's why I got in on VeriSign. Okay. VeriSign. I was like, we got a hammer on the year. There's news on that Warren Buffett wants to get in on this. Okay. APLD. BN always has these really interesting stock picks. Applied Digital Corporation, 2 up on the year, on the quarter, inside on the month. Right now 2-2 reversal back down on the week, but we'll see what they want to do. All right, do they really want to take them to the lows, or is this just profit taking? So no actionable signal on the week just yet. But it is green on all these other charts, all right? So let's just see if this is a little bit of profit taking, and do they want to take it back to the highs? Not quite all-time highs just yet, but it will be back at $40.46, all right? Let's go ahead and put that on the macro list. That's pretty good. Macro, bam, all right? Macro, sweet. All right, appreciate that. So I need to create me a macro list starting next year. I think that would be more fit because I like holding my trades. Yeah, very good. And it's easier to do that with shares. Yep. And then get in there with me. Become a Strat warrior. All right, try it for a while. I think you're in there already, actually. I think you're in there already. For everybody else, become a Strat warrior. All right, go to that membership section. Get in there. All right. Get those videos, all right? We do it together, all right? And I do these live. So you can ask questions. You can, I do these macro videos live, so you can, ask questions. This is what I'm looking at. What do you think? All that stuff. Good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Let me see here. Macro videos. It's going to show me. It's going to show me all my videos, isn't it? Yes, it is. But anyway, tons of videos to look at. Where's that macro list? There's our macro vid. All right, macro vid. This says 2 months ago. I thought I did one earlier recently, so I need to do a new one. All right, I need to do a new one. Macro vid. All right. I know I did one earlier, so anyway. We'll see. YouTube making me look stupid. I do this all the time. Let's go look at it. Let's go look at the videos. Like, oh, wait a minute. I do them. All right. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for everybody being in here. Free coaching session. I think it was awesome. Great questions. Seriously, great questions. We got 40 people in here. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who participated, putting things in the chat, putting tickers in the chat, putting your questions in there. Let me see. Hold on. All right, thank you so much for being here. All right, free coaching session again. Thank you. This is to say thank you to everybody who comes to the weekend shift on Saturdays, hitting that super chat button. Thank you so much, Drez. Thank you, everybody. Corey, everybody, BN Cruz, Bart, that was in here. Great questions, Bart. Just Crypto Scan, very cool. Yes, the Strat works on crypto. That's Manly, good questions. AW, great questions, great comments, and this was really good. Seriously, Ryan in the house, what's up? Oh man, we got one more. BPBF. I don't know what this is. Energy stock. All right, to the highs. All right, to the highs. Looks like it's got a shooter on the daily for Monday. All right. So BN Cruz doing good things as well. She was in the Strat Camp webinar last year, maybe even the year before. But anyway, she's been doing great. All right, she's been doing so well, and she's doing it all on her own. And that's the whole goal here at thestratsoldier.com. All right, the Strat Camp. I want you to learn how to trade for yourself. And of course, once you learn the strat, all this stuff becomes hilarious. All right, the news comes out and says, yeah, this thing's going to go to the highs, it's going to do this and that, and then we're looking at the charts going, oh, time frame continuity said no. And if this is your first time and you're looking at the strat, wondering what it is, and you don't know anything about charts, you really don't know much about trading, period, go to thestratsoldier.com. Look for the Strat Starter Kit. There's 2 ebooks that you'll get. The Strat Starter Kit, Zero to Trading, and then Hammer in Force, all right? Show you how to increase your income by creating winning positions in the stock market, and I do that by showing you a trading method called the Strat, so you can learn how to trade without losing your real life, your money, or your time. All right, those 2 ebooks come with a Strat Soldier mug, so you can sit here with me on Saturdays laughing at these charts. All right, you'll get it. It's fun. Thank you so much for everybody being in here. Again, have a good weekend. Have a good rest of the weekend. All right, it's Sunday. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good day tomorrow. Let them open. All right, Monday market's gonna open up at 9:30. Let them open. All right. After about 15 minutes, half an hour, then you start taking some positions. All right. This is a Strat Soldier for coaching session, free coaching session. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.